The other important element of your efficient and minimalistic home office gym could be old-fashioned chest expanders or chest exercises, which I would prefer to call them. They are spring-based and they are quite versatile. You can build your smaller muscles like biceps, triceps, or shoulder deltoids. They give you totally different way of putting overload and receive metabolic response from your muscles than you would do with using free weights or even in comparison with the rubber bands or rubber tubes. They were very popular in 60s, 70s, and allegedly one of the secret tool of Arnold Schwarzenegger while he was in Austria and in Germany were East European East Germany made spring expanders. You can pick up good or relatively good spring expanders from Amazon or eBay. Chinese are trying to make reasonably good copies of traditional British chest expanders. I would recommend go for old-fashioned chest expanders. You can still pick them up on eBay. They were manufactured in 60s, 70s and sold under different brand name. The main one is Spenby, but also the company Terry's spring manufacturers, they were producing their own versions. Ajax, they were producing their own versions. The good things about them that I yet to come across any damaged spring. I keep buying them for myself and for my friends and for my kids. I probably, at the moment, I own around 15 of those. Really, you need minimum 3 of them, so you don't have, if you want to do effective superset with different number of springs. Although they call themselves chest expanders, I don't find them very effective for the bigger muscles like chest muscles or back muscles, but for smaller muscles like biceps, triceps, and deltoids, they are really, really good. I would. They're one of the things you need to look for. The handle itself, which is also very useful, not just for spring expanders, but for I use them on the rubber bands, on rubber tubes. I use them for other purposes, which I will show you later when we do some exercise suitable for home office gym. So that's what kind of boxes they would normally come on. Some boxes have exercise recommendations in them, so you probably need 3 of those or more. Sometimes when you buy them, they come with 2, 3, or just 4 springs. You need 3 expanders with 5 springs The one problem I found how to keep them effectively. So the one way which I initially tried is to put them on a door, on a simple door hanger. It's very effective, provided you don't close an open door too often, because they will eventually scratch your door at the bottom of the by the bottom handle. It will something like that. So I end up putting them on the side of my big workstation on a similar coat hangers. So if you can buy British made in 60s vintage chest expanders, because they will last forever. You cannot stretch the springs. They're we're using old-fashioned British steel and British technologies. The wire of the springs is thicker than Chinese one. The diameter of the springs is thicker than Chinese one. Also, they put the rope inside the spring, so to limit how far you can stretch it, so you cannot really damage it if you are careful. You can always damage if you want to, but I yet come across damaged spring. In my opinion, this was when I discovered them. It's symbolized to me the peak of British technology, peak of British civilization. Really, they managed to produce unique product. The handles sometimes have only 3 rings. Don't buy those. They not sufficient enough for any serious bodybuilding exercises. Most of the time, they have a 5 rings, which is with the Spenby springs is good enough. You can put significant load. Each springs, I think, probably from 10 to 20 kilograms pressure. So if you look at the 5 springs, they will give you from 50 kilograms upward, which is sufficient enough for biceps or triceps or deltoids. Sometimes, very occasionally, and I have a couple of those, you have handles with more than 5 rings. I have sometimes 6, 7. I have a couple of those with 7 rings, which is useful probably for some exercise, like triceps exercises. I seen spring expanders, American one, old American one, where they have around 10 rings. I'm not sure how effective they're going to be. I think if I need 10 rings, I would rather modify one of the handles from Spenby expander to double it, so to put 2 brackets on one wooden handle. So that's about it. You have to be careful using them, because potentially if you are naked and you are exercise and you have hair on your chest. You can trap your hair in there. Never done that. So you have to be careful with them. But I guess you have to be careful with any weight lifting equipment if you're serious enough. If you're going to use them to achieve significant resistance in your exercise. That's it.